Yo, what up? Dolla50 told you what it is, the hip hop headquarters, also known as the 1000 Million Foundation. I'm going to start this live stream with Germ-X. Germ-X is a hand sanitizer. I would recommend if you don't have any hand sanitizer and you need a hand sanitizer, Germ-X. Just put it in your hands like so. Lather it. Not lather it, but, rub it on both sides of your hands. And I'm going to make a comment to start off the conversation medically. It's a medical conversation. I'm starting off with Germ-X so that everybody's in tune with the medical extremes that are present digitally. So now I'm not going for likes. I'm not going for a crowd of people right now. Right now I'm going for consistency. I'm going for the mainstream application of medical extremes. I use Germ-X and I made a notation, a medical notation, and now my conversation is medical. Now I'm going to use Germ-X again because I made the comment. After using Germ-X, and I'm going to, because you never know what medical extremes are transferring to be in no less of a place than using Germ-X. If you don't have Germ-X, then I suggest you get Germ-X to be in no less of a place. Now, my hands are fully sanitized, and I'm not making a comment this time. I made the comment. I used Germ-X. I made the comment, and then I used Germ-X again. So the comment is as digital as Germ-X itself, within reason of the information transferring digitally. Now, my gavel plaque, which is going to be a medical extreme, is going to be done this week. It's in the process of being completed. Changed from the pre-existing information that was on the plate, which I won't resurrect into the conversation, to current information, no less of a place than the medical extremes you see transferring. When I transfer these medical extremes, they may have just added on one of the names that I requested to be added on to the plate. I don't know exactly what the chemistry is at that location that I took the gavel plaque to, but as the medical extremes transfer, here I am medically. Now, as I presented to you with my business cards, the vaccine and the stimulus check is on one business card. And I'll show you now. One business card has the extremes. Now notice, take into account, I just cleaned my hand, I sanitized my hands with Germ-X. Medical, stimulus checks on one side, Moderna on the next. The vaccine and the stimulus check on one business card. Medically with Germ-X. Now, I don't know exactly what the results are going to be other than the medical gavel plaque that I'm having prepared. I don't know what the direction is going to be other than exactly what I'm saying. But when Nancy Pelosi sees this video, she's going to be impressed. She's going to be under the notion that I mean business. I'm doing no less than what I'm saying I'm doing. When I have a audience like that completely, that's when I want my likes. That's when I want my audience to escalate in numbers. That's what I'm going for. So you can be that audience now, or you can leave. I don't need the audience that's not in the same vicinity of my direction. I don't want my information to fight the audience that's here fighting to undermine, Germax. I don't want an audience that's trying to undermine my business card. I don't want an audience that's trying to undermine my gavel plaque. I don't want an audience around me that doesn't reflect what I'm doing. I just don't want that type of audience. And if you're not that audience, I suggest you leave now. The gavel plaque is on its way. The business cards are completed. And I'm using Germex in no less of a place. Now, consistent with what I'm saying, my thumbnail explains it all. There are medical extremes present as well, as the medical process that I'm applying to my gavel plaque being changed to a medical extreme. My business cards being present. These medical extremes, I should have on latex gloves to handle the situation, but latex gloves don't apply all the time. When you use latex gloves, you have to wash your hands. Then you wear the gloves, and then if you touch something, you have to change the gloves realistically, because depending on what you're doing, the gloves are going to pick up contaminating information. You don't want any contaminating information following you. When I use the Germex sanitized my hands, right? You follow? I made a comment. Medical. That was my comment. Medical. You had an option to say medical. I can see. I understand. You could have commented anything. I commented medical. When I commented medical, then I used Germex again to clean my hand, to sanitize my hands once again. So anything that was following me before my comment, medical, and anything following my hands from the mouse, from the computer keyboard, back to my hands, Germex again, medical. You can understand me clearly. Now I'm doing a gavel plaque. I showed you my business cards. It's a medical extreme present right now digitally. This information is precise. Precise is a north, south, east, and west. Precise is the time of day. Look at the time on the clock. Precise is the time on the clock. It's approaching 7 o'clock. It's approaching 7 o'clock. This live stream is scheduled to be released at 7 o'clock, but I'm displaying it now. I'm making the live stream now. When I make this live stream, it's a medical extreme. It's all medical, and I want you to understand that it's medical. So I'm putting extra emphasis. There's a link in the description that's not quite in the same place, but if you support my efforts and it's a medical extreme, you support. When I paid for my gavel plaque completely, it was out of my own pocket. When I paid for it to be changed, it was out of my own pocket. Nobody's supporting my efforts to create a medical extreme that people should have access to, but won't have access to unless my situation is funded, consistent with Moderna, medical, Pfizer, medical, Johnson & Johnson, medical, FedEx, not medical, but qualified to handle medical information. UPS, not medical, but qualified to handle medical information. United States Postal Service, not medical, but qualified to handle medical information. Now, in no less of a place than those locations mentioned, you have the consistency that I presented to you, that you're witnessing now. Now, I don't have any supporting factors. I have a link in the description where you can donate. You can donate and close that door. You can can close that door that's open. There's a breeze coming in the middle of the night, with the AC going. When you don't close that door, you got challenging conversations from old neighborhoods that have nothing to do with what I'm doing. They're attempting to hack into the distribution process of the vaccine to have people become ill, as opposed to them not having any access to my conversation. Why would I be involved with a conversation with people from an old neighborhood? Has no bearing. Germ-X has no bearing. When you see me use Germ-X, that's why I use Germ-X, because I don't want any contaminating factors following my conversation into the future, into my experience, which is going to be a good one, which is going to be a compliment of the medical field. When I have business cards with the vaccine on one side and the stimulus checks on the other, and people are with the vaccine, fully vaccinated, been through their 2 cycles of being vaccinated, and don't have food, my business card is a compliment of the environment of Congress. They never passed a bill to support the use of my business card principles, the use of my gavel plaque principles. They haven't abandoned their identities, but should they hear what I'm saying and not respond, they would be abandoning their identities. But when I create medical extremes and no less a place, if I had a smock on, mask, and an apron and latex gloves, I would be consistent with all of the medical environment that's already currently wearing latex gloves, mask, and the smock. I would be in the same place. But when you wear gloves, keep in mind that when I use Germ-X, made a comment, then use Germ-X again, latex gloves don't do that. Latex gloves, if I wanted to do the same thing with latex gloves, I would use Germ-X, put the gloves on my hands, nothing has access to my hands. Put in the comment, medical is which is my comment. Put in the comment, take the gloves off, use Germ-X again, and then I will be in the same exact place as what I was when I used Germ-X. That's how you use latex gloves in these extremes that are medical. You follow? So when you have extremes that are present with the use of Germ-X, these extremes are transferring. When I made the last live stream, I tried to time it so it would be at 7 a.m. I wasn't as precise as I would prefer. So this time I have a little more time. It's 6:30? It's 6:30, correct? It's 6:30 p.m. I'm going to end this stream with a precision long enough to prepare the stream for transition into 7 o'clock, and everyone has access to the live stream at 7 o'clock. When they have access to the live stream at 7 o'clock, it won't show up. It won't show up at 7:18. It'll be exactly 7 o'clock. It should be advertised as being prepared for 7 o'clock. It should be advertised right now. But I never done it before, and I can't review it while I'm making the live stream. I could, but that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm making this live stream, and it's medical. It's a medical live stream, and it's with the use of Germ-X. If you don't have Germ-X, I would suggest you go get a bottle of Germ-X and follow my lead. You're in the audience, but if you have contaminated factors following your hands around and you don't use Germ-X, those contaminated factors could kill you. That's why doctors that do operations, they use Germ-X and other hand sanitizers and wash the hands and gloves. And it's many ways to keep your hands from transferring contaminating factors. Now, saying that to say, The gavel plaque is on its way. The business cards are ready to go, and the Germex is going to be the catalyst right now. Currently, I'm going to make another comment without the use of Germex. I'm gonna put a comment, and the comment is going to be let's see. You'll know what the comment is once I type it. I don't need to say what it is because then it would take away from me making a comment with Germex. When you see the comment, you'll understand why I didn't say what the comment was. People may be listening through my phone, they may be listening through my computer, they may be listening any kind of way to what I'm saying, but they don't have any contact with this communication based on this being a live stream and you being on the other end. So when I use Germex, it allows me room to make comments without being detected from an audience that has nothing to do with what I'm saying. So let me just make sure I said what I said. I mean, it's typed correctly. All right, nothing less than what I said. Now, when the audience sees that I'm targeting, they're going to take into account that I use Germex. I showed them my business cards. I have a gavel plaque on its way to be completed this week. And just making that comment, I'm targeting a certain audience. They're going to fund, if they're not going to fund my efforts, they're going to fund and support my efforts within reason of being the targeted audience that would be responsible for funding my efforts or be responsible for contacting Food and Drug Administration. Say, listen, this person means business. I watched them transfer Germex to a comment. I watched them transfer business cards with a stimulus check and vaccine chemistry on one business card. I'm watching him currently transfer a gavel plaque, a law consistent gavel plaque with medical combinations of Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and FedEx, UPS, and United States Postal Service, with taking into account that Novavax hasn't been approved through the Food and Drug Administration, but they're also going to be implemented on the gavel plaque. Crazy, based on no one else doing something similar. No one else is doing anything similar. This is a complete new process being implemented or introduced to Congress, introduced into the mainstream, where if I can capture the audience's attention with the consistency that I'm presenting, then it's easy sailing. Easy sailing. I don't have to worry about the old neighborhood because the Germex would cancel out germs. Those people represent germs in the operation, germs in the medical environment, germs being germs. Those aren't people that I would want in my conversation while transferring medical information. I'm transferring medical information right now. I don't need those people from another neighborhood saying anything about what I'm doing. They have no understanding or no knowledge of what I'm doing. I've never told them what I was doing, and I don't plan to, within reason of having my own audience, capturing my own audience, maintaining my audience. If it was 5,000 people in this digital extreme right now, it wouldn't be the audience that I will be targeting. I seek to be funded. I seek to be supported. I seek to be in an environment of similar interests. And until I get to that point, it's going to be, one person in the audience. It's going to be that. But as as my progress presents itself, these live streams that are scheduled at 7 o'clock are going to be enough room. There's going to be enough room for me to make an announcement on Twitter. Look, there's a live stream coming at 7 o'clock, and this is a good one. This one includes Germex. Germex is going to be, I have the option to do that within reason of it being 6:37. It's 6:37 now. I have an option to do that. If I stop at 6:40 and make a brief video saying exactly what I'm doing, that's crazy for the mainstream. And as a matter of fact, at 6:38, I'm going to end this live stream to do just that. And I'm going to make a quick comment so you can see what I'm doing and no one else can. You should have gotten my comment and the time. When this transfers to 6:38, I'm going to change what I'm doing. Feel free to make a donation. Feel free to make a comment, throw your likes, support my efforts. Make a donation and be consistent. Don't just get canceled out sitting there. See you later. Peace. The 1,000 Million Foundation. You already know.